that the goal of a cyber stalker or any stalker, a physical stalker, it doesn't matter. The goal is to ruin and damage the person beyond repair or to have them end up dead. That's how stuff like this, that's how this stuff ends. And the reason, according to Malloy, is because that's the only way for the stalker to restore the narcissistic linking fantasy. Okay, now we talked about so much.
Yeah.
But we talked about recently in psychology stalking, we've talked about the research on that. We've talked about Malloy's chart, types of stalkers, stalking criteria, definitions. One of the big issues out there, in addition to all that, one of the big issues out there is one of the arguments for the TikToker, for the stalker, is that it's free speech. Right? This is probably the biggest argument. Well, it's free speech. This is just Mean Girls. Free speech, Mean Girls. Who cares? Mean Girls are mean girls. That doesn't mean you should get a stalking injunction. Don't weaponize the legal system. It's stupid.
Catfight.
Catfight.
That's how John talks when he's not on camera.
Yeah.
Like, Lauren, what's up?
That's how John talks when he's trying to pretend like he's a woman. Is that what you're saying? That the psychologist is minimizing women's behaviors? Is that what you're trying to say to us?
One thing that philosophers do, that, since I was majored in philosophy as an undergrad, one of the things I always loved about philosophy, even back when I was an undergrad, which
getting his undergrad at Princeton, might I add, winning the thesis award. I know that you always underplay. And at this moment, now that people are trying to mock your education, I'm going to own it. He's brilliant. Scholarship. Valedictorian. Go ahead.
There's this argument about free speech. And as a matter of fact, in the TikTokers attorney's objection, that was the heart of it.
Yeah.
This is free speech. Who cares if she says that you want to have non-consensual relations with your brother, right? Who cares if she's threatening to harm your business? Who cares if she's reaching out to everyone in your business contacts and trying to ruin you and damage you? None of that matters because this is free speech. So, one of the things philosophers like to do is we like to think about thought experiments. And I came up with one.
Okay, a thought experiment. Okay. For all of us at home, including me, I'm at home. A thought experiment with Dr. John Mathias.
Thought experiment.
PhD. All right.
And the reason we present thought experiments is because the reason philosophers do thought experiments is because they're trying to figure out kind of the boundaries around an issue, right? And whether by going through a thought experiment, you can ask questions about whether this is free speech, whether it's not, right? I'm presenting a hypothetical, but I think you could see this easily as being real. So
Okay.
in my thought experiment, there's a woman, Sylvia, and Sylvia has a daughter named Becky.
Okay.
And Becky's best friend is someone in school. They're adolescents.
Okay.
They're both 16 years old. Becky's best friend is Victoria.
Okay, Becky and Victoria.
Yeah, and Victoria happens to be the captain of the volleyball team. She's very well liked. She's considered to be one of the more attractive girls in her class, which is, I think, sophomore, junior years in high school. But Becky and Victoria have a falling out. And Becky's very angry at Victoria because Becky wanted Victoria to help her join the in crowd, and Victoria was kind of on the fence. She didn't really know how to do it, but she was happy to help her. But Becky thought it wasn't enough.
Okay.
Becky felt like she was being shunned by Victoria in certain areas, and that Victoria could have helped her more to become more popular.
Okay.
So Becky goes home to her mother, Sylvia, and Becky says, "Mom, I'm really hurt. I just got shunned. I just got rejected by my best friend, Victoria, and I don't know what to do, and I don't want to deal with her anymore, and I'm done with it." And Sylvia says, you know what? I love true crime. There's this raging debate online now about a stalking situation, and everyone says it's free speech, and I agree it's free speech. And you know what you should do, Becky? You should open a TikTok account, and you should target Victoria. And what you should do with your account is you should try to harm her and ruin her life as much as you can, because that's perfectly acceptable under free speech. And what I recommend you start with is that you start with a post that you want to come back. You want to repeatedly come back to this post, but you start with a post about how Victoria engaged in non-consensual contact with several of her younger siblings. And Becky says, oh, that's great. That sounds great. I hate Victoria. I want to start this TikTok. I want to really hurt her. So she posts
I just realized I had my mic on mute. I was trying to get the birds situated. No, what she really needs to do is create this private group where you get all these mean girls that will co-sign your BS in this private group, and then you start talking about people behind their back in a bunch of private group, and then if they don't agree with you, like sort of like Lori, you just kind of kick them out, and once you kick them out, then you start talking about them. That's what you do, Dr. John. You don't go and get a TikTok that's public and show the world who you are. Oh, can't do that.
The first TikTok in a video of Victoria engaging in non-consensual relations with her younger siblings. Goes viral. Victoria is really hurt. People believe it. People start shunning Victoria. People start avoiding her. None of it's true, by the way.
Poor Lauren Turd.
Victoria becomes a bit of a laughingstock.
Victoria.
People are talking endlessly behind her back about the supposed non-consensual contact that Victoria had with her younger siblings. Victoria is so upset by this, and she's receiving so much mockery at school that she has to, within a year, she has to leave the volleyball team and she leaves school to be homeschooled
Lauren Turd.
by her mother.
She can't do her volleyball anymore.
Becky continues because Sylvia, her mother, says, you know what? You should post as much as you can. Post every day. Go back to the post about non-consensual contact, about Victoria being an abuser. Go back to that regularly, but post other stuff. But now post her dropping out of school to be homeschooled and how only losers do that. Now post that she wasn't strong enough to stay in school, that she wasn't strong enough to stay on the volleyball team. I want you to just mock her because free speech. They graduate from high school. Victoria does it obviously not in the actual school. She does it from home.
And isn't it disgusting that they wanted her to be on a tether or in jail? I mean, I just find that's really disgusting. Like they want to put a permanent record on this woman for free speech. They want something to follow her around the rest of her life for free speech. It's just for what they're doing right now. It's just outrageous.
And when she graduates, Becky posts that homeschool doesn't really count, that even though she passed all the accreditation exams and did what she needed to do, that Victoria's a loser because she had to be homeschooled and she couldn't stand the fact that she couldn't deal with the truth that she was in fact an abuser. But of course, Becky's posting all kinds of other things, like she says, I'm going to burn your flipping kingdom to the ground. She's saying she's going to expose her, that because she was her best friend, she has all these private text messages and emails that she's going to put out there to harm her. She continues posting every day. Years pass, still posting. Victoria gets married. She sees that Becky sees that Victoria's posted photos of her marriage. So she mocks her marriage. She mocks her husband. She talks about how ugly he is, what a loser he is, how he has no future, what a loser she is.
I mean,
She continues to say
horrible.
that whatever Victoria has in her life, she's going to take it away and she's going to burn her kingdom to the ground. Victoria finally has kids. When her first child is born, Becky posts that she believes Victoria is now going to abuse her child. She posts that her children are losers. She posts that CPS should become involved because, of course, she's an abuser and the child are going to be taken away. So why doesn't CPS jump in now? And she can do all this.
I guess that answers my question that CPS has been called on them. Somebody's called CPS on Victoria or AKA Lauren Turd. Somebody is called on them.
because, of course, free speech. She can say whatever she damn well pleases, right? Free speech.
It's so stupid.
Victoria has another child. A couple years later, same thing. She has another child. Same thing. Becky keeps posting that her children are going to be sexually abused. She keeps posting that Victoria's an abuser, that CPS should get involved, take her kids. She won't stop with that theme.
She just won't stop.
Victoria's struggling. This is taking a toll on her. It's taking an immense toll on her. So finally, Victoria and her husband decide that they're going to pursue a stalking injunction with the court. The initial injunction is granted, but they go to court, and basically the judge says, this is just a catfight between two now adult females, but this is a catfight between adults.
Dr. John is big mad at the courts in Utah. You can tell he's big mad. In this story, he's big mad. I mean, Victoria, she's big mad.
Adult females, and of course, free speech, because you know what, Victoria? I don't think Becky should be silenced. I don't think anyone should be silenced. So just basically take it. And even though, Becky's a little bit of a mean girl, maybe she's cyberbullying you a little bit, I think that stalking is just showing up at someone's home with a gun. And she hasn't done that. She hasn't approached you in your car. She hasn't approached you. They live in the same town. She hasn't approached you at the grocery store. She hasn't approached you anywhere. She hasn't physically harmed you. So the judge actually goes on record and says, you know what? This stalking injunction is dismissed because, quote, this reminds me of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
All he's doing
So guess what? Go back to your life.
He's doing is taking his story, replacing two names in it, maybe throwing in a little of his thoughts and interjection, and trying to pass it off as what? A character study? What the F are we doing here? What are we really doing here?
Life, just grin and bear it and carry on. Victoria has been supported by her husband for most of her life, but she finally decides,
we need
after having 3 children, all of whom
something in here to spice it up. And then she went on to join the Spice Girls, and David Beckham decided to have an affair with Brad Pitt that was in love secretly with.
Will the circle be unbroken by and by, Lord, by and by? There's a better home awaiting in the sky.